Hey everyone, so today I'm talking you through my experience with the new Naked Reloaded palette from Urban Decay. So this is the outer cardboard packaging. As you can see, it's nicely designed. You've got the shadow names and colours on the back with some information about the palette. The palette itself on the inside matches the outer packaging. You've got these gorgeous golden brown orchids on the front, and the top of the palette is squishy like a cushion, so those shadows inside are well protected. It's slim and compact, so handy for travel. Inside them, we've got 12 eyeshadows with 3 different pan sizes. The 2 shadows on the outer edges are quite large. Moving in, the 2 on the edges next to those are a little larger than pan size again. And then we've 8 standard pan size shadows in between. So here are just some swatches of the shadows, and this is just with one swipe in each shadow. And the photo was taken with the flash on. I have video footage now to follow without the flash. The shadows are creamy, quite buttery, a little bit of chunkiness with the metallic shadows just due to the texture. I kind of expect that and I don't really mind, it's not an issue. ORP is €45, which is standard for an Urban Decay palette. It doesn't come with a brush unlike the other Naked palettes from Urban Decay, which I was a bit disappointed about because I do enjoy the brushes. But I came up with this golden brown eyeshadow look today, taking inspiration from the packaging, and now I'm going to talk you through how I achieved it. To kick things off, of course, I'm going to use my Urban Decay Primer Potion to prep the eye area. I swipe across the eye a couple of times and then I use my finger to melt that product into the skin. So the first shadow I'm taking is called Boundaries, and this is a warm orangey brown shade with tiny gold flecks running throughout the shadow. I'm beginning by dabbing the shadow down on the outer third of the eye, and then I'm sweeping the colour across into the crease. And this shadow is nice and creamy. I had no blending issues at all. I could do so very easily and the shadow layered very well. So once I'd applied this shadow a couple of times and built up the intensity and I was happy with the blend, I moved on then to a smaller brush and I began sweeping it down along the lower lash line, beginning riding into the lashes and then moving my brush downwards to fade out that shadow. With the first shade, I like to go in with my fluffy blending brush afterwards, and I go around the edges of the look to really diffuse that colour. Next then, I'm picking up some of the shade Endgame, which is a deep, cool toned brown eyeshadow, and like before, I'm tapping this down on the outer third of the eye and bringing it across into the crease. This shadow initially applied in a bit of a patchy manner, but after a couple of applications and blending it was fine. I was able to work around it, so once I was satisfied with the appearance of that shadow, I went in with a touch more of the shade Boundaries and applied it over the edge of the brown, just to make sure the two faded nicely together, and just so that we could still see that warm brown peeking through. Then I'm using my little bullet shaped brush again to apply that same shadow down along the lower lash line. So when I was blending across into the crease, I got some of those dark shadows on my lid. Not to worry though, I'm using some concealer to kind of get me back to a nice blank canvas, well in that area anyway, and I'm using the applicator to take the concealer about 2/3 of the way across the lid. Then I like to go in with a small brush and I just pat over the area where I applied the concealer to blend it out and to also soak up any excess product. And because I have a nice light colour on the lid now, it'll just help what I apply over it to pop that bit more. Now I'm taking Barely Baked, which is a medium gold shade with a metallic finish, and I'm adding this over the concealer. This shade reminds me of Half Baked from the original Naked palette, which was discontinued. I suppose Naked Reloaded has kind of been brought out in place of the original Naked palette. There are some shadows in the two palettes that are comparable, but they definitely have their differences. As you can see now, I'm just using that shade Endgame again. I'm reapplying it just to make sure the edges blend in with that golden shade. Keeping things nice and neutral, I'm going in with the Glide On eye pencil in the shade Smog, and I'm lining my waterline with this. I wanted to add some lashes, but I also wanted to keep the look kind of natural, so I'm adding the Kiss lashes in the style Lily. For mascara then, I'm using the Urban Decay Troublemaker to blend my own lashes in with the false ones, and then finally, to highlight around the tear duct and under the brow bone, I'm using the shade Bribe, which is a nice pearlescent eyeshadow, but then that's it. So to round it up, it's a nice neutral palette. I really like the range of shades in the palette, and I like that you have a variety of textures. The only thing I would have liked is a black, like in the original Naked palette, just to add some depth. I've got light highlight shades, transition shades, lid colours, but the darkest shadow in the palette is Endgame, which is a matte brown, and I would have liked something slightly deeper alongside that, but that's just me being picky. Overall though, the shadows blend very well, and if you're looking for a nice neutral palette that's travel friendly, this is a good one. So I'll chat to you all soon.